Let's talk about the only way to overcome social anxiety. A lot of people will tell you things like meditate, just think, journal, just stop caring what people think, just try to distract yourself from it, just try to make it through the day without feeling too much anxiety, try to do things to make yourself feel better. I took the exact opposite approach and it worked for me. And I'll tell you what I did. So I realized that by putting myself in social situations, something would happen. I was faced with the choice of distracting myself and just being nervous and getting out of there as quickly as possible, or staying there and observing what was going on. And what was going on was nervousness, getting sweaty, getting tense, depending on who I was talking to or how many people I was around, or if I was giving a presentation in class. That was the worst. My mind would go blank, wouldn't even remember it. But talking to new people, let's just do that. The easiest thing for me was to just have a one-on-one conversation with somebody that I liked or somebody that I trusted. Meeting new people, being around, loud people, it always made me really anxious. And again, people tell you, okay, to mitigate social anxiety, do this, do that. It's all these things to kind of coddle you and just make you feel better. And some of it works, going and seeing a movie and forgetting about it for a while. It works temporarily, but here's what worked for me. At first, I remember the first time that I forced myself to just ask a question to a cashier at a store. I was like, hey, where are you from? And she told me where she was from. Like that, it felt like I was jumping over like a waterfall. Like, oh no. Like, where are you from? I've never asked a stranger a personal question and started a conversation before. And she just started talking about where she was from, where she went to college. And I had that good experience, luckily. And I was like, oh, okay. And that wasn't it. That it wasn't easy from then on, but that gave me hope that, okay, maybe I can just do things like that. Maybe I can ask somebody a question about themselves and start a conversation. I didn't die, I didn't blow up. Cool. So what I did next was I started approaching people on my college campus, mostly attractive girls, just because, I'm a guy. That's what I was kind of afraid of. So walked up to them, asked them for directions or asked them for the time, said thank you, and left. Little 2-second interactions. But when I was getting myself in front of these people that I was kind of afraid to talk to, new people, every 2 or 3 seconds that I was in there, I observed what was going on with my body. It was like I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible, but I just stayed for an extra second. And I eventually just started giving a compliment too. Like, by the way, I really like your shirt. And then continued to walk. And then eventually when I got really, comfortable doing that, I started going up and started conversations, just being like, hey, being very genuine. Like, look, I'm trying to build my confidence. I like to talk to random people. I like to talk to 3 new people a day, and you're one of them. How are you? Where are you from? What do you study here? It was a good opportunity for me because I was 22 at the time. I was still in college, and I could talk to other college people. I will say, this is something that I wanted to say for this video. If you're a little bit older, I'm 28 right now. If you're older than me, it might be really easy for you if you have a really good mindset, if you have a really solid mindset. But it might be more difficult for you if you make a lot of excuses not to talk to new people, or if you think that it's weird that you're a little bit older and you're trying to meet new people. For me at 22, it was okay to be awkward because I was 22. And as you get a little bit older, like now at 28, I realize like I don't want to be viewed as like awkward. But here's the thing. If you're 28 or older than me, even 30, 40, 50, whatever you are, and you're concerned about being awkward or having social anxiety, just know that when you do come from a genuine place, and you just let go and you stop caring what people think, or just let it be. And like I said, observe how your body's reacting in social situations. If you're a little bit nervous and you're just being open about that, it actually, in a weird way, calms people down because you're being genuine. What doesn't calm people down is being not genuine, talking to people and then being like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Okay, bye. And just like not even caring about them as a human being, not even caring about yourself, just getting in there and getting out as quickly as possible because some guy on YouTube told you that if you approach somebody and talk to them, you would overcome social anxiety. You actually have to be in the moment, and you actually have to observe what's happening. The way to overcome social anxiety is to face it. You can't overcome social anxiety by brute forcing your way through approaching people and putting yourself in social situations and then just worrying, continuing to worry without really facing that worry and that anxiety. You need to get yourself in front of somebody that you're afraid to talk to. You need to get yourself in front of a group. Whatever that is, get creative. Get creative. If that means a public speaking class, those are more fun than you think. I was very nervous the first time I joined a public speaking class, but I just went up there. It was like a 5 to 7 minute introduction speech. The first time I went up there, I was shaking, I was sweating. Everybody knew. They didn't care because it was my first, people are afraid of public speaking. You have to sit there with it. You have to face the anxiety. You can't distract yourself from it. A lot of people are like, oh, I just have anxiety. I don't know where it comes from. You have to feel it. You don't have to analyze where it comes from. Oh my gosh, something happened in my childhood that caused all this, whatever. Just feel it. Because when you start to feel it, here's what happens. When I started putting myself in more situations like that, like approaching girls on my college campus, standing there with them. Okay, where are you from? Yeah, I just wanted to meet you. I'm trying to work on my confidence. Or even, I thought you looked cute. I wanted to meet you. Started a conversation with them as I asked them what their major was, what they studied, where they were from, told them where I was from. Was vulnerable at the fact, or was honest about the fact that I was building my confidence and I'm working on that. They were kind of curious about that too sometimes. But what happens is you just start to observe yourself in those situations, and you learn. Here's the thing. Sorry, I almost lost my train of thought, but here's what I was trying to say. What happens is you learn that the anxiety doesn't kill you. You don't blow up. You're still here afterwards. I've approached many people on my college campus. I've approached many people in the bar. I've put myself in new social situations with new friend groups. I've moved to new places, and guess what? I'm still here, unscathed from all that. And that's the main takeaway. You have to learn that the anxiety can't hurt you. You have to accept it, look at it, observe it as a thing. Don't view it as something that's stopping you. Just view it as a thing that comes up in social situations and observe it. Be curious about it, just like you're curious about the people that you talk to. That's the way to overcome social anxiety. It's not distracting yourself. It's not coping. It's not, doing some special meditation. I love doing meditation because I get to observe my breathing, my body, how I feel that day, my thoughts. But it's not some special meditation that's just going to shift your mind. It's not some special little trick, little thing. You have to face it. That's the one thing that nobody tells you to do, but it's the one thing that works, is actually facing it. How can you fight something and overcome something if you don't even face it? If there's a wall in front of you, how can you get past that wall without facing it and going through it or climbing over it or figuring out how to get around it by facing it and learning about what that wall is and what it's made of? If you don't face the wall, you're just going to distract yourself and stay in the same place, stay on the same side of that wall. You have to face it. Oh. Oh yeah. And if you're looking for a plan, I can help you. I've created a plan with daily challenges to ease you into it, mindsets to help you not judge yourself through the whole process, daily challenges, check-ins with me once a week if you need to gear your mind in the right direction, to keep you optimistic, to keep you going. Reach out. I'm uploading this on YouTube, so I have an email in the description. Email me. If you're watching this on Facebook, send me a Facebook message or comment on the video. I can reach out to you if you leave a comment letting me know you want me to reach out. But just remember that, whether you get my help or not, whether you use my plan or not, the thing that you have to do is face it. That's how I overcome social anxiety, was by facing it, letting it bubble up in those social situations, letting it come up, looking at it, not running away, facing it.